Like most furries that have absolutely nothing to do with the organisation or running of a general furry convention or meet, I too believe I am fully qualified to sit on my fluffy ass and judge those who actually put the effort in. Now, obviously, I'm not here to just take shots and make that point the entire point of the fucking video, but, I mean, let's be real. We all know the certain things that make a furrycon great, and we know how they should be run, but we also know, like, the ways that you can really fuck up a convention. And just in case you weren't aware of how you can really, truly fuck up a furry convention, some very kind volunteers over in the UK actually just ran one that they completely fucked up to show us all of the new ways. So I thought we'd go through exactly the sort of things you shouldn't do if you're looking to be a good convention with a professional basis. Let's dig into that shit, shall we? So the first point that would fuck up a furry convention is the rules. Obviously, every convention, everywhere that you go, everywhere in the world has rules, and has a clear set of rules that you're supposed to obey by, or there will be consequences should you not do that. And when it comes to a specific convention called which, by the way, my legal team has advised me not to mention by name. Wait, I don't have a fucking legal team. It was Furcation. Anyway, because of the fact that there was miscommunication there, because they didn't quite seem to figure out, we got a code of conduct of rules that people need to abide by, which, they should. Turns out the venue has a different code of conduct and set of rules people need to abide by, and we're gonna, hope that they're the same without, figuring out that they're fucking not. Now, I get it, a lot of stuff happened at the convention, like drug parties and shit like that, and yeah, that's not in anybody's code of conduct, not in anybody's rules, but there was a clear delineation between what the park said was okay and what you said was okay, and of course, only one of them actually is able to say what is and isn't okay, and that would be the fucking park, now wouldn't it? So it's a little unfair to hold people to a standard that they're not even fucking consenting to, they're not even understanding as a standard they're being held to, they've not even been fucking told. That would fuck shit up. Like, imagine if I took you to a convention and said, it's totally okay to walk through here and shout fuck as loud as you want, and you did that. And then you got done for it. Then someone come along and had a go at you. I'd be the asshole, right? For leading you on and lying to you? Yeah? Cool. So you get my point then. One of the most important parts of a Furcon is, of course, the venue. And this is a bit of a hard point to make when the venue took place in the UK, but I suppose it's valid anywhere you go. Beggars can't just be choosers, I guess, is the message here. I get that the UK has very limited options, and I guess that, not everywhere's going to be happy having a full-blown convention happening there, but Park Dean? Really? Like, they've not exactly got a stellar reputation in the world, especially this specific site, because all we had to do is look at the reviews and see that the caravans are pretty fucking old and decrepit and falling apart and infested with mold, and that the staff don't really seem to do an awful lot to help out when there's issues like this. It doesn't really seem like the sort of place that I would decide, yeah, let's take a bunch of fucking furries to. So, I get it, I really do. You're very limited. It's very difficult, but still, the venue has a lot to say for it. And of course, running everything in the fucking October time, basically running it outside of fucking summer in the UK is an interesting move. Like, did you not want there to be dry weather? And you can't control that, true. But you wonder why everything was happening indoors, and then you combine this. Okay, cool, so it's raining as fuck, and there's not really a lot of facilities here for us to do stuff. No one really wants to go out in the rain. Now you're having a go at us because there's allegedly too many people in a fucking caravan? The fuck? What the fuck else are we supposed to fucking do? What? And again, no real fucking plan for that. This venue clearly has proven itself to have problems with its fucking security and its staff that generally just seem to not like furries, and I think that's a lot of it is down to what you actually told them about furries, but we'll get to that. But you clearly didn't have the best working relationship with them, and that is evidenced by the fact that when shit fell apart, they just threw you the fuck under the bus, and now, we're going to look up the maintenance costs for the alleged costs. Oh, of course you are. You're going to look up how much you can get done on a furry's dime, because I guarantee you, all of the problems that you've seen on these reviews online, oh no, Park Dean's going to go and get those fixed, but you're going to be footing the fucking bill, because why not? They've got you dead to rights because you fucked up a bit, and it's not down to you. Other people may have damaged rooms. There may have been things that were happening that were completely beyond your control. Did you have insurance for that? I mean, surely you'd want some sort of liability insurance if you're running some sort of convention, and you wouldn't then just immediately pass all of the costs onto your committee or the furries themselves, right? You'd have insurance. Right? I don't know that for a fact, whether you do or don't. Seems to me, though, based on your operation, I'd be shocked if you fucking did. But that's another fucking point. This venue is just clearly not fucking fit for purpose, and I get that it was probably the only place you could book, or it looked better than the place you were previously in, but how much fucking research did you do? How much research went into going to the site and figuring it out and speaking to the people and making sure it was fit for the purpose that you intended it for? So it doesn't look like you fucking did any, and it looks like all of your attendees kind of paid the price for that. Another big problem is that sometimes you just don't seem to really accept what you're getting into. Now, whether it's a lack of knowledge or just a lack of acceptance, it doesn't matter. You need to know what you're getting into when you are hosting an event for people. People are unpredictable assholes, and they all have their wants and desires, and they're going to put those above you and yours. So if you're going to invite 1,200 people, say, to a convention, you shouldn't really be surprised that some of them decide to have drug parties in their fucking room, okay? People don't need to go to a convention to do that. People do that all the goddamn time. That's not in your control. That's not something you can influence, but it is something you can be aware of, and it is something that you can put different systems in place to limit the fucking damage of that one, okay? But acting all surprised and shocked that this shit happens? Like, I don't want to run down the furry fandom. I've done that enough in my career, but, like, come on. Come the fuck on. We know a lot of stupid, sordid, nasty, disgusting shit happens at a furcon. And the reason why the whole thing doesn't fall down a fucking well and drown is that we all just kind of let it go off to the, that can go over there and no one else needs to be aware of it. Because it's only like 5 people. That's only like 2 people. That may mean that's 12, but still, fuck it. Let's just section them all off, and they can have their own little space, and we'll be protected from that. As long as it's not on, like, convention property or convention permission, then we should, have enough plausible deniability that it's not our fucking problem. You didn't even do that. And then throwing people to the fucking walls, I get it, you gotta cover your own back, but that just doesn't look good. Like, you don't seem to have any procedure in place to actually deal with the situation when it comes up. You just hand it off to other people. Doesn't exactly put you in a good light, now does it? Because you didn't know what you were getting into, and when shit hit the fan, you were like, oh god, I didn't know that shit could hit the fan. How didn't you know? Have you never been to a fucking furry meet or a convention before? How the fuck did you run this thing without knowing that this shit could happen? There were the big things that came down at this specific convention that can also ruin any convention in the fucking world is a complete lack of openness and clarity over what the furry fandom is. Now, you ask 15 people in the fandom what the fandom is, you get 15 different fucking answers. So it is difficult to give a broad, generalized view that appeases everybody, but it does mean that you have to take the good, take the bad, take them both, and there you have the furry fandom. So you kind of have to mix it in. You can't just say, like, oh, it's a bunch of artists who like to come and they enjoy spending time together, and we do these little dances, and we wear these fluffy costumes, and it's lovely. Cool. It's also a bunch of people that come and fuck. They have big sex parties, and they fuck hard, and they use implements and tools that terrify me personally, and they screw, and they suck, and they lick, and they fuck, and they do. And what's wrong with that? Absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing's wrong with that. It's absolutely A-okay. But if you tell them it's one thing and it turns out to be another, oh dear, miscommunication problem. And it definitely seems like you misrepresented the furry fandom, what exactly was going to be happening at this convention. I'm not saying you should have walked into the venue and been like, some people are going to have drug parties, but you should have at least told them, like, oh, well, some people like this, some people like that. This is generally what happens, but other people like this. Especially if you decided that, pop hoods are okay and you can wear these sorts of things, and then the venue's like, what the fuck is that? Why the fuck is that out? That shouldn't be here. Clearly you didn't fucking tell them about that, did you? Clearly you didn't want to, because you're scared that you might lose the venue. Because if you tell them the real truth of what's going to happen at a convention, maybe they just won't fucking let you book. Is that the case? Because that's what it fucking feels like. And I get it. I get the instinct to play it down, play it easy, play it cool, so that you don't have to deal with the nastier parts of it. But you're putting on a convention and you can't control who turns up or what they do. So you have to make sure the venue is fucking ready. And you didn't. We call that a failure. You failed. And you failed a lot, let's be fucking real. Here comes the really fun part where I try not to just sound like I'm trying to attack people, as if the whole video hasn't been an attack. But let's be real, are you really fit to lead? Are you really ready for all of the shit that comes with leading a convention and being on the staff? I get it, not a lot of people are stepping up to do this sort of thing. It's a very big and intense thing. So there's a sort of weird assumption that we're not allowed to criticize anybody that does, despite the fact they are still stepping up to offer a service, a business, whatever, and they're not able to fucking do it. volunteering is a bit of a sticky subject because there's only X amount of volunteers in the world that are going to volunteer for a furry convention, and relying on free labour is an interesting thing when furries are generally pretty left-wing with workers' rights, but then work for free at a convention. But anyway, that's another video. But are you really ready for this shit? Are you really fit to lead? Because the professionalism that I saw was pretty fucking lacking. That statement? What the fuck was that? What the fuck? Who the hell actually wrote that statement out? This is it, by the way. I might have put a text or something that you can scroll through. Who wrote this shit out and thought, that's fit for public consumption? That's a good idea. That paints a great picture of our organisation. That's going to put trust in people that they should actually come back to the service that we offer and enjoy this convention if we ever fucking get another chance for it. The fact that you shut down a fucking communication avenue, you shut down the group chat, which is why it all spilled onto social media. The fact that you weren't addressing this shit. The fact that there was potentially, allegedly, somebody in your fucking staff that had a vendetta and was just taking it out on people at the fucking convention proves to me that this was a pure situation of just because you can organise a convention doesn't mean you should. And just because someone has the ability to make a few bookings, talk to a few business people and set up a convention doesn't really mean that they have the people or leadership skills necessary to deliver the fucking thing. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, but let's just be fucking real here. If you paid to go to a concert, you'd expect there to be a certain level of professionalism there. You'd expect there to be a certain level of structure and organisation. And if shit hit the fan, you'd expect that people were able to pick up the pieces and figure out a plan, right? So why the fuck is this any different? Why the fuck are we holding these people to a different standard? I don't think we should be. At the end of the day, if you are going for a job, which is essentially what running a convention is, you should be fit for that job. And if that's a shitty thing to say, then I guess I'm just being shitty, because I wouldn't personally want to give my money to a convention that's more than happy to do this sort of fucking shit, to have this level of professionalism on display. This doesn't inspire trust. I'm not going to trust them if anything else goes wrong. What if there was a fucking fire or something? Do they have any fucking clue what's going on? They can't even manage a Telegram chat. So, yeah, I think there needs to be a bit of an evaluation of exactly who is running a convention and whether you want to put yourself into that convention with them at the fucking helm. Now, obviously, I've made a lot of very nasty points in this video, and I've made a lot of very, pointed statements, but I should just reiterate, this is all coming from third-hand knowledge of what I'm seeing online from someone like myself who wasn't there at the con. Now, I've read reports from people who are, but I myself was not there to experience these things. I'm just seeing what was online, and I just want to make that clear. I may not be reacting to the God's honest truth of what happened at that convention. What I'm reacting to is what I saw online, okay? So don't take what I'm saying as the 100% truth. Never take what I'm saying as the 100% truth, okay? I could be wrong. I could have the complete wrong end of the stick of this, and all of the stuff that I saw could be complete bullshit. But, based on what I saw, this is my response to it. This is what I thought. This was what I had to say, okay? So don't come for me as if I'm saying this is what happened for a guaranteed fact, because I personally wasn't fucking there. But all of my points are relevant to the stuff that I saw, and if that stuff isn't, 100% true, then I guess my points aren't 100% relevant. And I'm big enough to be able to admit that, okay? I'm big enough to be able to say that. And I bear no ill will against the fucking organisers of this thing. Like, I hate them personally. I don't fucking know who the hell they are. But it's just, look at this shit. It was a complete fucking shit show. And from the look of it, from an outside perspective, like, I'm sure good times were had. I'm sure plenty of things went right. But in this world, no one cares about the 99 times that everything goes fine. They care about the one time it doesn't. And when it comes to a furcon, that can actually be enough to completely shut the fucking thing down, as it has. And looking at all of this stuff and looking at all of these things, the general perception that I got as an outsider is not to trust these people, not to go to one of these conventions, because it will not be as advertised, and it likely could result in them deciding to pass on my information to the police if they suspect that I have criminally damaged their fucking rooms. So there you go. That's my outside perspective. It doesn't look good from someone who has looked at this and thought, wow, they want me to go to their convention. No thanks. Doesn't even look like much of a convention. But hey, I'm sure people had a good time, and I'm sure it was done with the best of intentions, and there we go. I've done my little bit, I've had my little rant, and I've said my little disclaimer that absolves me of all the shit I could ever think of to say. Not true. I could be completely wrong, but that's okay. I can admit fault, and I can admit when I'm wrong. And if I am, then I am. And there we go. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Or don't, I guess. Whatever. If you want to see me in other places, there are other places to see me. There they are. Go and have a look. It's more of this. If you like this, then you're in for a treat. If you don't like this, still go there. I need the numbers. But yeah, that's the sum of it. The video's over now. Bye. The fuck are you still doing here? I said we're done. No, I'm not getting the feets out this time, okay? I'm not getting the paws out. It's not in every video. It's in almost every video. It might be in the next one, who knows? But we're not doing it now. Just go. Get out of my fucking house. Seriously, why are you standing? If you ain't gonna fucking go, I'm going. Okay, bye. Fucking bye. Is he still there? Oh, for fuck's sake.